Hi everyone, Gemma here, thanks for watching today. In this video I'm going to be unboxing Papercraft Society kit number 41 and it's from Chloe's Creative Cards. Before I get into the contents of the box, I just wanted to mention that I understand that there's been a shipping error with box number 42. So this has been sent out instead of box number 41, but I understand customer services has now resolved that issue and sent out all the correct boxes. So I've received mine now, and anyone that's been affected should receive theirs too. So let's get into the box. So we've got this bright red sort of fuchsia pink colour, and we've got this gold foiling and some glitter on the box there. It's a really lovely colour. Then inside we've got a quote from Chloe: "Some crafters just sparkle." Isn't that true? So as I always say, the box is divided into three sections. You've got the wallet here, then you've got the tissue paper filled with goodies and the inspiration booklet. So we're going to look at each one. So in the wallet we've got these lovely dies and stamps, so they coordinate with one another. So these larger flowers will fit over this one and so on. You've got these additional leaves and the stamps here, and then the sort of background panel dies there. So it's got a scalloped edge, stitch detail, and then it's got some flowers and leaves. This one has some swirls. We've got this sort of border stamp here, which I'm sure you can do a continuous stamp with. Some lovely sentiments. Send in a little sparkle, happy birthday, and hope lots of lovely surprises are coming your way to make your birthday a lovely day. I think these dies are really versatile. So you've got your stamped image here, so you could stamp that and colour with your alcohol markers, your watercolours, whatever medium you prefer. You could also heat emboss and then cut the outline with these dies. You could also use them to create some paper flowers, and also flower forming foam, you could use them to cut. So I think you've got a lot of options there. So next we've got the sort of die cut or laser cut pieces in the glitter cardstock. So you've got all these flourishes and leaves that accompany the stamps and the dies really well. Then we've got some pattern paper. Well, it's more like a cardstock, and it's got a pearlescent finish to it. And they're double-sided, so you've got the watercolour on the back and then the pattern on the front. So then we've got this cream and pink floral pattern, and then on the opposite side we have the watercolours again. This is right up my street, my go-to colours. Then we've got this teal sort of aqua colour. This is also one of my favourites, and it's got some leaves and flowers, and then on the opposite side you've got this blue watercolour background. And then we have this lovely floral pattern, and I really like the colours on this, the pinks, the orange, the greens, the aquas. It's just such a lovely design. And then you've got this sort of rainbow colour watercolour on the back. So next we have the tissue paper filled with some lovely goodies. So we've got two different embossing folders. So we have this slimline one here with some flowers and leaves. So again, this is a continuation of the design. So you've got that panel die that has a similar design to this. And then we've got this little embossing folder here. You could use that for the corners of your card. And it's got these really nice swirls and flourishes. You've got some silver glitter. And then we have this organza ribbon, a really nice white colour. And what do we think that is? Sequins, maybe? Just tip a little bit out into my tissue paper. So you've got some really nice butterflies, flowers. Can't pick them up. Then we've got this little tiny butterfly and some of these sequins. So really nice mixture of like your shaker elements there. Then we've got our inspiration booklet. So inside it'll tell you the contents of the box. So if you're ever unsure of how to use anything or what it is, you can check here. So I'm just going to do a quick flick through of the booklet. So there's some wonderful inspiration in here, and I'm just going to stop on this one here. So this was designed by Marta DeBeeker, and she's gone sort of for a rainbow background and some white flowers with the silver glitter cardstock there and the flourishes, and sending a little sparkle. I thought that was a really nice DL card. But I'll leave the rest of the inspiration for you to look at. I don't want to give it away too much. So I'm going to get into my project share with you today. So I'm also going to be doing a DL card, and I'll go through everything with you now. So I've gone ahead and I've prepared all my elements to make my DL card. So in addition to the kit, I've also brought in the Creative Craft Products DL Straight Edge die set. So I've used that to create this frame. So my inspiration for this piece was this pattern paper, and I thought that would look nice on the front of the card there, and the frame over the top. I didn't want to lose any of the pattern paper. And I've also just brought in some foliage die, some leaf dies from my stash. So I've cut a piece of 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, and along the 8 1/4 side I've scored at 4 1/8. Just fold and burnish that. Then my pattern piece measures to 3 7/8 by 8. My cream cardstock that will go inside my card also measures the same size, so 3 7/8 by 8. Then if you have these dies, I've used the 3rd largest and the 4th largest die to create this frame, and I die cut that twice and stuck them together. So that's going to go on the front there. I've taken the sentiment from the kit and I've heat embossed in gold, and the sentiment there, so if you can see that. I've used the same dies, these dies here. So I used the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 largest, and I've run it through once, and then I repositioned the die and cut it again. So I've got that nice sort of curved or raised edge that you get from a die. So that'll be going in the center there. So I've used the flower dies to cut some paper flowers. I did cut them several times, but I just liked the singular layer look. I thought that looked quite nice. So I think that's going to go on the side there. And then I've got all of these leaves in cream and gold and this green colour that matches the pattern paper. So I'm going to start by attaching all my mats and layers. I have my glue gun off to the side of me, and that's warming up, ready to place the flowers. So I'll just pop you on high speed now while I glue everything down. So I'm using some double-sided tape for this card because it has that pearlescent finish. So I just want to make sure that that adheres well. I'll use Collal glue for everything else. And I think I'll pop this up on some foam. And I forgot to mention my little offcut from this piece of cardstock. Just there. I'm going to pop that inside like so. So while I'm still waiting on my glue gun, I've decided to stamp Happy Birthday on the inside panel of my card. So this should still stamp perfectly fine. So I've got a nice flat surface here. So I've primed my stamp because this is the first time I'm using it. So I've just cleaned it off with some water just to make sure that there's no oils or grease left behind from the manufacturing process. Just going to place that in the center and as straight as possible. I think that looks about right. And I'm going to use the VersaFine Clay Charming Pink. I think that matches the flowers and the pattern paper really well. This ink is also a really nice one to use for stamping. Usually get that crisp first image. That's turned out nicely. I'm just going to set that to one side and let that dry. So I'm just playing about with the placement of the flowers. So I think I'm going to just go around this rectangle piece there with the sentiment in it. So I think I'm just going to concentrate on the corner. So there's the final card. I think it's come together really well, and I just absolutely love the colour palette on this card. Very rare for me to use, not to use white on my card, but I thought it would be too stark against this pearlescent card, so I thought the cream would be a better match. And on the inside I've just popped it in some extra die cuts that I had just to continue the design into the inside of the card. So something different from what is included in the inspiration booklet. So let me know what you think in the comments below. In the description box below I'll pop in a link to the Papercraft Society where you can find more information about the subscriptions that they offer. I'll also link any products used in today's video. If you've enjoyed this DL card from me, hit the like button, leave a comment, or consider subscribing to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future tutorials. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!